Well, welcome to the All Age Spot. And our verse today is John chapter 16, verse 13. Let me read it to you. But when he, the Spirit of truth, comes, he will guide you into all truth. But when he, the Spirit of truth, comes, he will guide you into all truth. Now, I want to think about the people to whom Jesus said that when he first said it. And particularly, I want to try and understand a special Bible word, and it's this word, the word coming up on the screen, apostle. I wonder whether you know what an apostle is and what the point of an apostle was. It was a special job Jesus gave to people, particularly the people he was talking to in this verse. Let me try and explain. Imagine if somebody said to me, CJ, I'd like you to write a book about God. Okay, and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and I came up with all sorts of things about God that I had written down about him. Imagine that. Okay. Now, if I wrote everything I thought about God down, and I've just got it on paper here, but imagine it was a book, do you think that it would all be right? Do you think I know everything about God, and I'm right in everything I think about God? What do you think? That's my job. I'm a vicar, to tell people about God, a rector of our church. It's my job to preach. Do you think I'm always right? Or that I sometimes get things wrong? And do you think I know everything? Well, the answer is, of course, I don't always get everything right. And therefore, when you come to the things that I write about God, sometimes the right thing to do is to cut bits out of what I say about God, because I'm not always right. You can see somebody's already done that. And the other thing is, I don't always know everything about God. So sometimes the right thing to do is to take a glue pot and to stick in other things. Stick in bits to what I think about God, because I don't always get everything right. Some things need to be cut out, and I don't know everything. Some things need to be stuck in. Now, what do you think about other people? Perhaps other grown-ups you know. Perhaps the Archbishop of Canterbury. He's the leader in this country of the Church of England. Or bishops, really high up people in the church, or other vicars. Do you think they're always right about God? Do you think they never make mistakes, so they never need the scissors? They know everything, so they don't need the paste? What do you think? Well, the answer is, of course, that all human beings sometimes get things wrong. Sometimes we have to cut things out in what they think about God. It's true of all of us. None of us are perfect. None of us gets everything right about him. And none of us knows everything about him, because when it comes to everybody, you always have to paste something in. All human beings, except the apostles. The apostles, you see, had this promise from Jesus. Got it here, John 16, verse 13. When he, the Spirit of truth, comes, he will guide you into all truth. Jesus said that the Holy Spirit would come and he would guide the apostles into all truth, so that everything they said about him was right, and they would know everything they needed to say about him. Pretty amazing, don't you think? And of course, the wonderful thing is that we have what the apostles wrote. It's the Bible. Or at least it's the second part of the Bible, the New Testament. The Old Testament was written by people who had another similar promise. But the apostles, everything they wrote about Jesus was true. Now, the sad thing is that sometimes people today, they do come to the Bible as if with a pair of scissors, and they try and take bits out, the bits they don't like in it. And sometimes they try and sort of paste bits in, the bits they'd prefer to be in there. And sometimes actually all of us do that if the Bible tells us something we don't want to do, or we want it to tell us something we'd like to do. But we shouldn't. Nobody should. The New Testament, it's written by apostles, and they had this promise from Jesus. The Spirit of truth will guide them into all truth. Shall we read that verse again as we close? When the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth. John chapter 16 and verse 13. Well, we're going to sing again now, and today Andrea is going to lead us in jumping around. I'm jumping around. Andrea, over to you.
I'm jumping around and dancing about. I'm clapping my hands like this. For whether my day wears a smile or a frown, my Jesus is here.